question really is, what if it breaks? Right? Kasi, hindi naman yung sa trading, pag puro buy on support, sell and resistance lang, parang, parang it sounds easy, but it's not. But at the same time, parang yun na yun. Yun na ba yun? Syempre hindi. Right? So now the question is, what if it breaks, di ba? What if prices go above resistance? What if prices go below support? Dito na pupasok yung breakouts, which I love, and breakdowns, which I generally try to avoid. So, in this example, ginamit natin itong chart na to kanina, nung pinaka-start ng discussion natin sa support and resistance. Yung chart ng Bitcoin, di ba, na-highlight ko na prices had a hard time breaking above this resistance level, but eventually it broke out. That's what they call a breakout, when prices move or break above that resistance level, right? So what does this mean? It means that, I mentioned a while ago, usually at resistance level, there's a lot of sellers. Maraming sellers, maraming selling pressure. But in this particular scenario, there was so much demand, there were so much buyers looking to get a position in this token, in this coin, that it pushed prices above all of that selling pressure and made a breakout. So now, why did I mention na paborito ko i-trade yung breakouts? Because breakouts, right, especially in good markets, can possibly be the beginning of a bigger move. Breakouts can potentially, in a good market, be a start of a new uptrend. Yeah, and like I mentioned in the previous lesson, uptrends are where we want to be because that's where you can make the big money. Right? And breakouts in good markets, right, can also yield you, right, the biggest profits in the shortest amount of time, right? So here, for example, and I have a lot more examples later on, this was probably like a 6-7 month time frame where Bitcoin moved up about almost 600%, right? So that's a breakout. More examples would be, for example, GMT. You have a sideways consolidation here, sideways trend, you have a clear breakout. In 4 days, it moved up 250%. And then you have another sideways trend here, or a consolidation. You have another clear breakout for another 56% move. A more recent example would be AGIX. You have a clear resistance level here, right? It tried to break out, but wasn't able to. The sellers were much stronger, but the token held up well, made a sideways trend here, had a successful breakout here, and then made 150% move in about a week. So yun yung power ng breakouts, right? And another example would be FET. Same thing here. You have a sideways trend, and then you have an uptrend, and then a sideways siya. This is why I mentioned in the previous lesson na, I always keep an eye out on these sideways trends because they're pretty significant, right? And you have a breakout here, and then it made almost a 100% move in a very short period of time. But one thing to note, right, I was able to show any examples here is, of course, hindi yan palagi gumagana, no? Not all breakouts will yield these types of gains. Minsan, maliit lang. And sometimes, they don't work, right? Especially in difficult markets like in 2022. Minsan, pagkatapos mag-breakout, yung mangyayari is babalik siya sa loob ng consolidation, sa loob ng base. Diba? That's what you call a fake out or a fake breakout. And that's normal. Diba? That happens in the markets, right? And just like a while ago, puro sideways trends lang ba? No, we also have these downtrend line breakouts, right? For example, here, diba example natin kanina, SLP, Cardano, palagi nauuntog. Ito naman, sa example, to si Gala was able to break out, make that 100% move. Another example would be LDO. These are recent examples. You have a clear downtrend here, but prices started picking up higher. You have a big move started. It already started a shorter term uptrend, giving almost a 200% return. So that's the power of breakouts. But of course, may nagkabaliktaran yan, right? So now, what if, what if prices break below support? Now, this is what you call a breakdown. And generally, so a breakdown happens when there are no buyers left, when there's not enough demand and there's so much selling pressure, maybe because of bad news or just a bad market environment. And when it finally breaks down, opposite to an uptrend, this can potentially be a start of a big move on the downside or a downtrend. Again, in crypto, if you're more advanced, you can short. But if you're generally a newbie in trading, a beginner, this would be best to avoid, right? Kahit ako, I don't really short. Whenever an asset I'm looking at breaks down, if I have a position there, I generally sell it. If I'm monitoring it, now I'm not really monitoring it, I'm more of avoiding it now. So, ayun yung breakdown, right? And here in this example, after FTM broke down from its peak, diba? it lost almost 100%. And a lot of this happened to a lot of tokens in 2022 where they lost a ton of value. Another example would be Harmony, C1, right? You have a clear support level here at this red line, but eventually breaking down. And again, from its peak, almost 100% yung binagsak. Showing a continuation of the chart that we showed a while ago. So in this case, see Axie Infinity, right? It broke down from its support level, right? And the rest is history. It went down 90%. So that's why it's really important na, diba, aware tayo sa mga ganito moves when a specific token breaks down, because especially if we're holding on to it, something like this could happen. Syempre, we want to avoid this. Doon na po pasok yung risk management, which will be discussed in a later lesson. And same thing here. Syempre, ano rin siya? Uptrend lines can also break down, of course. So we have a breakdown here sa Matic, which resulted in an 80% decline.